So when you are in the sports medicine field, you feel what I'm saying? You a team doctor for like the for an NFL team or something like that. What does like your Monday mornings consist of? I would imagine it'd probably be pretty hectic, huh?
You're probably waking up at 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and you probably don't go to sleep until about 11 or 12 midnight on the same day. Obviously, there's a lot of coordination between trainers and physical therapists and physicians, sports medicine, psychologists. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening on Sunday after the game, as well as Monday, and as well, obviously, kind of teeters off a little bit into Tuesday and Wednesday. But really, Monday, Sunday night through Monday night at midnight, it's probably the busiest time period.
All right, so Doc, let's hop right into it. Let's get to the big one right off the back. Dr. A, Inside Injuries, InsideInjuries.com. Don't forget to download the Inside Injuries app. Can't predict injuries, but I'm telling you what, this app is pretty doggone close. All right, so here we go, Doc. Odell Beckham, so we heard it was a broken leg. We heard it was a broken ankle. What is the injury, and do you think we'll see him again this season?
So before I talk about OBJ, Corey, if on the list of players we're going to talk about, we have 6 of them. 5 out of 6 of them, we predicted them to have some level of injury this year, and there would be some significant time missed. So I'm hoping that fantasy players have used our app to be able to have appropriate backups in this situation. Anyway, so OBJ, as you guys know, high ankle sprain on the same leg, and so he came back in our estimation, he came back too soon. The ligaments are probably a little bit unstable. Probably 70% of the way back. If you saw the video, it's a significant eversion injury. That means your foot kind of goes out, your ankle kind of goes in, and it is a pretty significant injury. If you look at it, the weight of the other football player kind of fell on his ankle. That fibula basically, gives in on that outside part of the ankle, so that gets fractured. But you remember all those ligaments that were on the outside of the ankle were also getting healed, and they weren't completely back. So I would expect him to have another fracture probably in the ankle, and his whole inside portion of the ligament is called the deltoid ligament. Those could be also completely torn. In this, it looked pretty significant. I don't know the kind of support that he was wearing on his ankle at the time, but I would suspect that that he has pretty significant ligament damage.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me ask you this, Doc. You don't think we'll see him again this year, do you?
I think it's a very unlikely chance that you'll see him again this year.
Well, that's one. Hey, Doc, his teammate, Sterling Shepard, what's his outlook for? Is it 1-2 weeks, or is it more serious than that?
So, he has a grade 2 ankle sprain, so it's not torn. It's a mild strain. Right now, we have him at just over the edge of low injury risk into elevated injury risk. The optimum recovery time here is about 2 to 3 weeks. So if he's out for rest this thing for 2 weeks, he should be back to low injury risk. Anything sooner likely will be still elevated, staying in elevated injury risk. But the good news is that it's not a grade 3, it's a grade 2, so it is going to heal, and it'll probably be healed to completeness in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, wow. Your turn, Jake.
Man.
No,
this is not supposed to be that depressing.
I can't hear anything except for you guys.
Okay.
This is,
All right. Dr. A, let me ask you this one. Let me ask you about another situation that took place yesterday in the NFL with these players getting injured. Doc, we got to go through this every week, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of scary. But J.J. Watt, we really don't talk about too many defensive players, but J.J. Watt leaves the game yesterday with a bad-looking injury also.
Yeah, if you see what happened in the video, he tripped over his teammate, and then he had an abnormal amount of force onto his left leg in a flexed position. And you guys remember he had 2 different back surgeries. So when you lose a little bit of balance, your back is the one that kind of keeps it going. And if you don't have the 100% stability there, abnormal amount of weight kind of falls on an extremity. And that's what happened to his left knee. With the significant amount of force onto his left knee, that tibial plateau, which is the piece of bone of the top of the tibia that articulates with the femur that form the knee joint. So that is fractured. And that is a significant piece of bone that sort of absorbs that force onto the knee. So if that's fractured, this is a season-ending injury, which is, in my opinion, no doubt. But the thing with large players is that, you know, this could be something from a career standpoint that he may not be 100% all the way through. This is a pretty severe injury, guys.
Oh boy,
Yeah, that's terrible.
that's bad news.
Going back
He's
to
going to win the NFL Man of the Year too. He's going to be hurt though.
Yeah, no, that's very unfortunate. Going back to the wide receivers, Devontae Parker yesterday left the game. Then he was seen on the sidelines trying to like jog and possibly get in. Then he was ruled out. What's the outlook for him?
Did you say I missed what player you said there?
I'm sorry.
Was it Devontae Parker?
That's correct, Devontae Parker.
Okay, got it. Yeah, same injury, grade 2 ankle sprain. You know, he saw that he had a little bit of an ankle twist in the first half, tried to test his ankle, and, you know, he couldn't come back really into the game. You know, he was at elevated injury risk because he's had the previous 2 ankle sprains in that same ankle in the last 2 years. And so we had him at elevated injury risk before the season. Now, because this is his 3rd ankle sprain, this optimum recovery time is 4 weeks. I know he's probably not going to be out for 4 weeks. Probably come back in a week or two, but that is the beauty of the algorithm. It's going to be at elevated injury risk the whole season now. And so, you know, look out for the opposite side ankle or that knee if he comes back too early.
Yeah, Doc, I worry about that because I think you know the thing about Cooper. I mean, excuse me, Maury Cooper on my mind so much. Doc is worrying me. The thing with Parker, Doc, is like he's been criticized for people saying, well, you know, you can play through this, son. You feel what I'm saying? And I think he's going to try to play through it, and you're saying that could probably lead to further injury.
Yeah, I mean, if you continue to have the same injury in the same body part, you know, year after year, the more times you have that injury, the more rest you need to heal because those ligaments don't come back quicker. I mean, those tendons and ligaments don't come back quicker. And so, you know, and as the older we get, you know, it just it takes a little bit longer. So, you know, this is one of those things where if he just rests, then he probably will be able to play and get back into low injury risk for the rest of the season. If he comes back too early, he'll stay in elevated injury risk and put himself at more risk, not just for reoccurring injury, but also in different body parts that are sort of associated with that ankle.
Doc, Bilal Powell, New York Jet running back Bilal Powell, he leaves the game yesterday with injury. What's the latest on him? What do you think? How's he feeling this morning?
Yeah, so you know, running back calf strain, it's a grade 2, so it's not a minor tweak. This is pretty, you know, mild to moderate tendinitis and probably some edema within the muscle itself. You know, if you look at the video, he came up limping right at. You always get those calf strains, like, you know, 11-yard reception, and then all of a sudden he comes up limping. It's just because there's sort of like an abnormal amount of strain on that calf or any other type of muscle. He was at elevated injury risk before this injury, and now he's moved into high injury risk at 29%. And so optimal recovery time, 4 weeks, guys, 4 weeks here. If he comes back too early, he's going to, you know, stay in high injury risk. But he likely will be at elevated injury risk through the rest of the season, even if he comes back after 4 weeks. But at least it'll drop to elevated because right now he's at 29%, and that's going to stay there even if he comes back too early.
Oh boy, Doc, that's you know, and Bilal Powell is a guy, Doc, that you know I've had on a couple years. He's giving me a little bit of production, but I think it's best that he takes about a month or so off. That's not good. But you see, Doc, he probably not going to sit out that long, so it's going to be more or less hit or miss, game time decision and stuff like that, week in and week out. So that kind of sucks. InsideInjuries.com. Inside Injuries is the app. The talent is Doc Day. Thank you very much, Doc Day. Glad to have you on this Monday morning.
I appreciate it, guys. You know, Monday's lots of injuries, and so it's going to be like this if we continue to talk on Monday.
I would like to continue to have to talk with you on Monday mornings, Dr. A. And then